All right, welcome to episode 8. And the first thing you might notice is Keith and I are actually filming together for the first time ever. Those of you that have caught our show in the past know that we actually film in 2 different locations, Nebraska and Michigan.
Yeah, about once a year, either Bruce will come to Michigan or I will come to Nebraska just so that we can catch up.
Yeah, so when Nebraska joined the Big Ten, Keith and I decided that we would visit each other's away game when Michigan State and Nebraska played each other. But this year, Nebraska and Michigan State don't actually play, so we decided to meet here in Central Illinois. Keith, why don't you explain why?
Yeah, so this year, Nebraska is traveling to Illinois to play in Champaign. And part of the reason we picked that is because all of my family lives just about an hour away from there. So we are on set in Petersburg, Illinois, and we are at the Riverbank Lodge Hotel. So after my parents retired and they moved back to where all of their family is from, which is here. And so this is kind of our family business, and we're very excited to be shooting on location here today.
Yeah, Keith, and I will tell you, I just love this lobby. I mean, we're going to make sure that we pan around this lobby and let everyone see this, but we should also take some still photos.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, yeah, so we're on a little bit of a schedule today, in part because we got to get ourselves to this game
Absolutely.
pretty shortly. So we've actually picked a tech topic for today that is short, and one of the topics, that topic that we've had on our minds for quite a while is to have a Bokeh Battle. And we'll describe what that is in a little bit. But in order to do a Bokeh Battle, we have to have our big boy cameras. Now, we happen to bring our big boy cameras today, so we have them and we can do this.
Yes.
Our original intent was to bring these cameras to the game and take some cool shots, but
Clear bag policy, lens
bag,
restrictions of 4 inches. Going to keep us, and
there's rules.
It's not raining right now, but it's been pouring, and they're anticipating rain during the game, so it's going to be kind of a challenge to bring either of our cameras into this.
Yeah, I don't have the equipment to isolate my camera from the weather, and it's not even weather resistant to begin with. So, oh well. But we're going to do this Bokeh Battle for sure. Now, why don't we describe a little bit about what bokeh is, just for everybody?
Absolutely. So how our Bokeh Battle is going to work, right, and what bokeh is. And really, to get a formal definition of bokeh, you can probably find...
Just go to the internet.
Yeah, just go find one of the 1.1 million YouTube videos on bokeh. But
not right now.
Not right now. Yeah, wait. Keep watching, right? Don't change it.
This is riveting.
Yes, yeah. Don't go anywhere. But bokeh is background blur, right? So your ability to isolate the subject you want to shoot from the background, and that just creates more pleasing look and really highlights the subject that you're trying to shoot. So we are going to actually compete against each other to create the best bokeh. We're going to have to pick a subject from the lodge, and I think Keith's got something in mind. We're also going to have to pick our weapons, right? So we have to pick what lens we want to use and the settings we want to use. Keith's going to use his Sony camera. I'm going to use my Canon. I don't think the equipment really plays any, the brand plays any real impact on the
camera
results.
Body. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. So it's really going to come down to the lens and the settings that we choose. And we're going to let you, the audience... And skill, right?
Yeah, and charisma.
And yes, I think a better-looking photographer definitely takes better photos.
That's right.
So
I read that.
Really, we're going to let the audience decide who that guy is, right? But that's what we're going to do today.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the subject. We're going to take a bunch of photos of this guy. And I think you're on autofocus, right?
Yes.
So hopefully if I do this... it's actually useful.
Yep, give it a sec.
All right, so what you're seeing here is our Riverbank Lodge logo etched upon this fantastic glassware. So this is what we're going to shoot. And by the way, this glassware is for sale in the lobby. It's not for sale online. Somebody needs to work on that.
That's probably you.
That's probably me.
But for now, come to the lodge.
Yeah, for now, come to the
lodge.
lodge.
Get a drink, get a glass.
I heard if you actually get a drink in this glass, that you'll get a discount on purchasing this glass.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's about $7. This glass is actually very high quality. Maybe not as high quality as our actual camera lenses.
What I usually
That's
call
real
glass?
expensive glass, yeah. This is actual just glass, but it's very high quality. And in fact, it even has some laser etched they're called like nucleation sites,
Mm-hmm.
right? So beer nerds would love this glass because when you pour beer in there, it actually causes the formation of these little bubbles.
Oh.
So that I guess theoretically it's supposed to make the beer taste better. I don't know that my palate is refined enough to
discern
to
the
discern
difference.
that, but at the very least, it looks cool, right? Because you've got bubbles coming up all the time.
Yeah, well,
So-
you're way ahead of me because I thought that was really just to tell you it was time to get more beer in your glass. So there's actually a bigger purpose for this.
Oh yes, it's completely necessary and functional.
Perfect.
I can't imagine anybody would drink beer in anything but that glass.
I can't anymore.
Ever.
Not going forward.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Now you know. And knowing is caring.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably time for us to get out our glass and our
Pick
other
our
glass,
weapons,
right?
yeah,
Pick our weapons and get this competition started because the clock is ticking and we've got a game to get to.
That's right. Let's do it. Okay, so let's talk about our weapons that we're going to use for today's competition.
Absolutely.
I'll go first, shall I?
Sounds good.
All right, so here's my bag, and what I have is I use a very small form factor sling. I think it's called a sling, and all my lenses don't really fit in it anyway. And so I think what I'm going to use for my Sony, this is my Sony on the table holding the microphone. There's the kit lens, which is on it right now, which I do still use. But I think there's two different lenses that I might try for today's competition. The first one is this 55 to 210 millimeter zoom lens. It's a Sony lens, and it's, what is the f-stop? It ranges from 4.5 to 6.3.
Okay.
So this is actually a very popular lens, by the way. It was for sale when the A6000 was brand new.
Okay.
And it's not the kit lens. The kit lens is like 16 to 50, and this is 55 to 210. So it was very complimentary. There's tons of these. I've gotten good bokeh with this, if I can get far enough away from the subject. So this will be one of my weapons. And then the other one I think I will use and perhaps win with is this bad boy.
Okay.
This is one of my favorites. So this is a 35 millimeter 1.8. So it's a very fast lens. I love this lens. It is also a Sony. It's not a zoom lens. It's a prime, right? But this one, I love this lens. And I think this one's going to take you down.
Okay.
So
We'll
that's
see.
what I've got.
Well, thanks for going first because that helps me with my strategy. So let's go ahead and get my bag open here. And like everything, pretty
Geez,
much-
it seems like you brought everything in the universe. Look at
Yes.
that bag.
Like everything, Keith and I tend to be on the opposite side of the equation. So Keith has the very minimalist sling that he uses for his camera bag. And I
Minimalist.
have the Mongo, almost have to gate check it size backpack. So, and again, when we talk about size, Keith, let's.
I think we have to switch to a wide angle lens,
Yeah.
too.
So I'm going to use my Canon. This is a Canon lens. This is the pretty much famous 70 to 200 millimeter f2.8. It is f2.8 all the way through the zoom range, but this lens is incredibly heavy. So that is the downside to this.
It's like a bowling ball, guys.
It is. It is. I think they actually put the weight number on it because that's probably just as easy to describe that lens characteristic. So this lens is so heavy it actually has a collar to mount the tripod right there. And so that is going to be one of my lenses. And again, much like Keith, I find the best bokeh with this lens is going to be out at the zoom range, right? So that is going to be my first weapon. My second is also a Canon lens. This is my 50 millimeter, also 1.8, right? So I see your 1.8 and I raise you a 1.8.
That's not raising. That's the same number, Bruce.
Well, for me, it's raising. I'm calling you then, okay? So this is the 50 millimeter 1.8, sometimes called the Nifty 50. This is mostly plastic, but optics on it are just really, really good for such a inexpensive lens. So this one is my ace in the hole as well. So we'll see. We'll see who's going down and who's gonna, win this battle.
You scared?
Shaking.
Oh, I can get snuggly.
All right. Well, we're still here at the Riverbank Lodge and getting ready to pack up our stuff and depart. But Keith, I actually had a revelation while we were here and wanted to share it before we left.
Just one?
Just one revelation, but it's an important one. So apparently, we can eat our chicks and sticks without pouring them into a bowl.
Really?
Yes. Yes, we honestly can. We can eat them right out of the bag.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This looks fun.
I'm going to try one too.
I'll
And-
bet you could eat them out of all kinds of things.
I don't know. Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
Bag, bowl. I think we better stick with the bag and the bowl plan.
This almost feels like I'm double dipping. You know. Your hand's in there, my hand's in there.
I think we're going to get a waiver on this.
All right.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah. See? It works.
You know, the very first couple bites, it hits you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
A little bit spicy, but
Yeah.
it's not like yucky spicy. It's
No.
a good flavor.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. How's that with coffee, by the way?
Yeah, it's good.
So, actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to revise my revelation count. Two
Oh,
revelations.
to my You're
Yes.
taking my revelations now.
Yes. So,
You
two revelations.
You have your this is my revelation.
Okay, but there are
Coffee.
two revelations for the episode.
Mine's better.
That's fine. You can have that. I'll give you that. You need something. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun, Keith. I think we both got some great shots with our various lenses that we used. I think it's going to be a tight competition. I know. I think I won. I know you think you won, which you always think you win, which isn't always the case, as you know from the cooktop episode. But anyway, it was a great time. Keith, any final thoughts for everyone?
No, I think very much appreciate everybody actually watching this. I very appreciate that. And as usual, any questions, comments, hopes, dreams, needs, fears, or funny stories, just let us know. Just make some comments. We'll actually read them. We will read them, right?
We have plenty of time to read comments.
We have time to read.
Yes.
So so please do so. And then what else do we want them to do? Hit subscribe, ring the bell.
Mm-hmm.
And like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
like
thumb.
the content.
Yeah.
Use
hit the
that
thumb.
thumbs up. It feels good to press that thumbs up. I guarantee you press that thumbs up and you are going to have a fantastic day. You'll probably live your best life from that point on.
Live your best life, people.
Yeah, absolutely.